Hi friends, in this video I will tell you a very simple trick with the help of which you can easily remember the dermatomes of the upper limb, and this is very important for your PG entrance examination, and also it is very confusing topic. That is why if MCQs comes from this topic, then you just get confused. So to get rid of this confusion, I have made a very simple trick. So friends, let's begin. So this one is the anterior side of the upper limb, and this one is the posterior side of the upper limb, and we are starting from the arm region. We are not taking the shoulder part. Remember, we are not taking shoulder part. We are starting from the arm, forearm, palm, proximal phalanges, and these are the middle and distal phalanges. This one is for the anterior side and this one is for the posterior side. Okay, this one is arm, forearm, palm, proximal phalanges, middle and distal phalanges. And now if I ask a question to you, how many fingers do you have? So you will tell me, sir, we have 5 fingers. So for these 5 fingers, just draw 5 boxes. One is for arm region, one is for forearm, one is for palm, fourth one is for proximal phalanges, and fifth one is for middle plus distal phalanges. Remember, fifth one is for middle and distal phalanges. This one is for the anterior side of the upper limb, and this one is for the posterior side of the upper limb. Now friends, as you all know, this one is the lateral side of the upper limb and this one is the medial side of the upper limb for the anterior side. So we are taking this part as the lateral side and this part as the medial side for the anterior side of the upper limb. Similar to this part is the lateral side and this one is for the medial side. So this is lateral side and this is medial side. Now friends, you will be looking that this first box is drawn very large. This first box is drawn very large and this first box is for arm, and as you know, arm is very strong. That is why for this arm we are making a bigger box for the anterior side as well as for the posterior side. Now just start dividing all the boxes from the center. So start from the first box and second box. First and second box are divided from the center, but from the third box we will divide all the boxes from the sides. Okay, we are not dividing from the center, we are dividing from the sides. Okay, and as the first box is bigger, that is why we will divide the first box again into 2 parts like this. We are dividing from the center. One is vertical line and one is horizontal line. So friends, this part of the arm will become upper medial of the arm. This part will become lower medial of the arm. This part will become upper lateral of the arm, and this part of the arm will become lower lateral of the arm, and this part of the forearm will become medial half of the forearm, and this part will become lateral half of the forearm, and this part of the palm will become medial 1/3 of the palm, and this part will become lateral 2/3 of the palm. This part will become medial 1/3 of the proximal phalanges, and this part will become lateral 2/3 of the proximal phalanges, and this part of the middle and distal phalanges will become medial 1/3 of the middle and distal phalanges, and this part will become, this whole part will become lateral 2/3 of the middle and distal phalanges. And remember it, this is for the anterior side. And now let's come on the posterior side. So for the posterior side, do not do anything for the first and second box, but divide this third and fourth box from the center. center. And for the fifth box, divide from the very side. Divide from the very side. So this whole part will become lateral 3.5 of the middle and distal phalanges, and this part will become 1.5 of the middle and distal phalanges. As you can see here, this up to this part of the middle and distal phalanges, this is this one part, and this part and this part. So this is little finger, this is little finger, and this part of the ring finger is this one part. Okay, and here the 2/3 part of the, so this one is the first, second, and 2/3 part means this much part is the 2/3 lateral, 2/3 lateral of the middle and distal phalanges, and this is the medial 1/3 part. Okay, so friends, here is the distribution of the dermatomes for the anterior side of the upper limb, and this one is for the posterior side of the upper limb. Now these different divisions of the upper limb will be innervated by the different root values of the nerve from the C5 up to the T2, and from C5 up to T1, these are the brachial plexus. These forms the brachial plexus. So brachial plexus will innervate all these divisions of the anterior side of the upper limb and for the posterior side of the upper limb. Now friends, here remember that the T2 nerve, that is called second intercostal nerve, will also come along with the brachial plexus. So friends, start from the top, and this is for the upper lateral side of the arm, and this part is innervated by C5 and C6 root value. Also lower lateral of the arm is also innervated by C5 and C6. Also lateral half of the forearm is innervated by C5 and C6 root value. Then from C5, C6, start from the C6, C7, continue till the end C6, C7. Start from the C5, C6, take this for 3 boxes, and then start C6 and C7 and take it up to the 3 boxes, similar to C5 and C6 for 3 boxes, C6, C7 for 3 boxes. And after 7, what comes? 8. So C8, C8, C8 and C8 here also. And 6 multiply by 2, so it will come 12. So this box and this box will have T1, T2, T1 and T2 root values. Now similar to anterior side comes on the posterior side. The whole posterior part of the arm is innervated by which root value? C5. And the posterior side of the forearm is innervated by C6, C7, C8 root value. Palm region, lateral half of the palm region is innervated by C6 and C7 root value. Medial half by C8 root value. Lateral half of the proximal phalanges C6, C7, and the medial half of the proximal phalanges C8, and the lateral 3.5 part of the middle and distal phalanges by the C7 root value, and the 1.5 part of the medial side of the middle and distal phalanges by the C8 root value. Now friends, here remember one thing, that these C8 root values from the palm up to the middle and distal phalanges will turn backward, and this will come here. So this and this one part. Now friends, if I ask a question to you, the brachial plexus will have how many nerves? So these are how many nerves, or which are the nerves? So these are the, first one is median nerve, second one is radial nerve, third one is ulnar nerve, fourth one is musculocutaneous nerve, and fifth one is axillary nerve. Now friends, just write ARM here. So arm, ARM. So This part of the arm region is innervated by the axillary nerve. This part of the arm region is innervated by the radial nerve, and this part of the forearm is innervated by the musculocutaneous nerve. Now friends, as you all know, median nerve runs medially and then it goes laterally. So this whole part is innervated by the median nerve, and this part is innervated by the ulnar nerve because it is on the medial side. As I have told earlier that this part goes backward, so this whole part will also be innervated by the ulnar nerve. And the C7 root value of the median nerve goes backward and supplies innervates this posterior part of the middle and distal phalanges. And this part of the arm, this part of the posterior forearm, and this part of the posterior palm and proximal phalanges are innervated by the radial nerve. So most of the posterior side of the upper limb is innervated by which nerve? Radial nerve. Now friends, after discussing so much about the dermatomes of the upper limb, now if I ask a question to you, that if C7 root value is affected, then what will happen on the arm region? So as you can see here, the arm region is not innervated by the C7 root value. That is why if C7 root value is affected, then arm will not be affected. Question number 2. The nail bed of the index finger, means we have to come on the posterior side, and we are talking about this part of the index finger. The nail bed of the index finger is innervated by which nerve? As a lateral 3.5 part is innervated by lateral 3.5 of the middle and distal phalanges is innervated by the median nerve. That is why this part, the nail bed of the index finger, will be innervated by the median nerve, because this whole part is innervated by median nerve. Now if I ask a question to you, the index finger and the thumb is having which root values? So we have to come this side. So C6, C7 plus the thumb and index finger for the posterior side, what root values? C6, C7 and C7. It means C6, C7 root values will be for the thumb and index finger, either anterior side or posterior side. And friends, all these questions were asked in previous PG entrance exam, and now if any type of question has been asked or any type of question comes in your future upcoming PG entrance examination, then I am sure you are now able to solve any type of MCQs related to dermatomes of the upper limb. Just draw 5 boxes. One first box larger, divide it into 4 parts. From the third box, divide from the sides, and similar to the anterior side, for the posterior side, leave first box and second box as blank and divide from the third box. Start from the third box dividing from the center, and for the fifth box, divide from the very sides. And after doing all these, just formalities are there. C5, C6, C5, C6, C5, C6 for 3 times, C6, C7 for 3 times, and continue C8, 8, 8, 8 till up to the forearm, and then 6 multiply by 2, so it is 12. So T1 and T2, T1 and T2. And for the posterior side, just give C5 for the full complete posterior side of the arm, and then after 5 what will come? C6, C7, C8, C6, C7, C8, C6, C7, C8, and then just 7 and 8. So C6, C7, C8 for 3 times, C5 for 1 time, C7 and C8 only for one time. So friends, if you think this video is very helpful, then please share this video as much as possible to your needy friends. And in the last, thanks for watching this video, and I wish you all the best for your bright future.